Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Cutting Edge Figure Skating podcast. My name is Kim Dunaway, and in this episode, I'll be covering the men's event at the 2024 Cup of China. This event was originally scheduled to have Wesley Chu in it as well, but unfortunately for him, he traveled all the way to China, practiced, and then in the practice before the event was supposed to start, he injured himself and unfortunately had to withdraw. So we wish Wesley a speedy recovery. Definitely bummer for him. And that's the second Canadian man that had to withdraw from a Grand Prix event due to injury this season, as Roman had to escape Canada. The winner here was Shun Sato of Japan. I feel like neither of his pieces of music are super memorable, but he does skate them very well. In his short program, I feel like this program really showcases a lot of the improvements in his artistry. He's using a lot of the accents of the music with his arms. He's looking up more, not just at the ice, which was a big issue for him before. He was always looking down. Got level 4s on everything and was just shy of 100 points. Found himself in first place after the short program going into the free skate. In his free skate, he started off with quad lutz and then he doubled his flip. He did not have any more margin for error after that, but he landed literally everything else: quad toe, triple axel Euler, triple Salchow, triple axel, double axel. Both of those triple axel combos were done in the second half, and he did just enough to stay ahead of a surging Mikhail Shaidorov here. Shun really continues to make slow and steady improvements in his consistency, and it's been a lot stronger this season, even though he did well in his Grand Prix last year and qualified for Grand Prix final. The scores that he has gotten this season and the overall consistency of his elements has been a lot better. Part of it has been making that change to go with the quad lutz over the flip in the short program, but a lot of it too has just been the culmination of a lot of the improvements that he's made over the last couple of seasons. He's a podium threat at any competition that he's in due to his tech content, of course, but also the artistry has just improved so much that's also going to allow him to be a contender, especially if Adam isn't going to be healthy at Grand Prix final. Great panda pillow that he had with his face on it in the kiss and cry, and he was so thrilled to win here. In second place was Mikhail Shaidorov of Kazakhstan, and he has made some real attempt to do some choreography here, especially in his free skate. Mark says that he's been in ballet classes trying to improve his artistry. Probably not going to be enough to see a lot of that this season, but he's got to put the work in now if he wants to be able to see those changes really next season. But I could already see more of an attempt with it in both of his programs here, which I was very encouraged to see. Short program to Dune, very clean jumps here. That quad lutz triple toe is just right on the music. The free skate was the program I was more excited about of the two. I really did not like this mashup of Take On Me and Moonlight Sonata that we had earlier in the season. It's the same exact program, but because there was more of an effort for him on the choreography, I enjoyed the program a lot more than I did the last time that I saw it. He did quad lutz, that triple axel quad toe again, which was even better here than it was at his previous Grand Prix. Quad flip that failed him at his previous Grand Prix. Just really nailed everything jump-wise. Gets to his choreo sequence, and to save himself from falling, he puts his hand down, but he was given a fall deduction anyway. It's within the rules. I still think it was a harsh call. I'm not the only one who thought that it was a harsh call. It was one thing that kept him from winning here, which a win in this event would have put him in the Grand Prix final over Daniel Grassl, but it's not the only thing that kept him from the win. He actually ended up getting a cue call on his quad flip and his second triple axel. So his quad flip originally had 2.57 GOE, but after the cue call, he ended up getting negative 0.16 in GOE, which was a 2.7 point difference, and he lost by 2.31 points. So that was actually another place that he could have qualified for Grand Prix final without that cue call. The cue on the triple axel was not as costly. It cost him about 1.5 points. That being said, he was very excited in the kiss and cry. I was kind of bummed, to be perfectly honest, not because I have anything against Daniel Grassel. A lot of people do. I just was kind of intrigued by a kind of Shaidorov-Ilya battle, which will be coming at some point in the future, no doubt about it. I highly doubt that Ilya is going to be at Four Continents this season. He's skipped it the last 2 years, but if he were to go, that could be a place that they could go head-to-head. And if not, if Mikhail continues to make some improvements in his program components, then this could be a very intriguing battle in the future. In third place here was Adam Siao Him Fa of France. He just needed to be fourth or better here to qualify for Grand Prix final. In the short program here, he was doing his other short program. This is what he debuted at Nice, his first challenger of the season. And then at Grand Prix France, he did the Gangster's Paradise short program. This one is to SOS. It's the same music that Hana Yoshida is using in her free skate, but sung by a different artist, so it's a little bit slower version. I like this one better, but I don't feel like it feels seasoned, which is on par for the course when you're flip-flopping your programs. He did a quad lutz triple toe, then he fell on his quad toe, and then he did a triple axel. So that put him in third after the short program. He can usually really kill a footwork sequence, but this one felt really tentative, could really care less about the backflip in the short program. And of course, my question is, why are we doing 2 short programs? I don't like the strategy. I think that you pick a short program. If you want to try one out at your first event and try a second one out at another event and get some feedback, I kind of feel like that's the whole point of the off season. I don't know if France has a version of Trance Camp or not, but pretty much everybody will bring in judges at some point to get feedback from that, but then settle on a program and go with it, because I don't feel like either of his short programs is really going to be skated to the quality of what everybody else is doing, because everybody else is going to be a lot more comfortable with their programs. Adam was already injured over the summer, had to take 6 weeks off from skating. He's already kind of behind the 8 ball, and this, to me, just does not make sense. In the free skate, doubles the quad lutz, and apparently he re-injured his ankle on that jump. He goes on to land a couple of quad toes here. He does put a hand down on the first quad toe and the triple toe in that combination. Only is able to get off a single axle, double axle at the beginning. Also, his second triple axle is actually over-rotated. It's like you get like 3 3/4 revolutions instead of 3.5. He landed on both feet with bent knees. He just didn't look comfortable this whole program, which makes sense if he re-injured the ankle. But I didn't feel like he looked particularly comfortable in the short program either. You know, Mark made a good point about, is there wisdom in doing the backflip when he's got issues with the knees and the ankles? He says he's got plans to heal the ankle in between now and the Grand Prix final, which is just in 2 weeks. Honestly, I think he needs to withdraw and really focus on getting healthy for the back half of the season. But Grand Prix finals in France, and I'm sure that there's a lot of pressure on him to be there. Kevin is going to be there. Lopareva and Brazeau are going to be there. Please, Adam, do what is best for you health-wise. The Olympics is very, very close, and I just don't know that it's worth it. In fourth place was Nika Egadze of Georgia. This is the second Grand Prix this season that he has been so very close to the podium. Here, closer than he was at Skate America, even though he was in a podium position after the short program, and that wasn't the case here. With the mistakes that Adam made, he definitely could have medaled here had he skated a little bit better in the free skate. But in the short program, landed quad Sao Cow, triple toe, quad toe, and then landed a little unstable in his triple axel. The choreography is really there in this program. The artistic ability, though, just is not fully present. I will give him points for effort, though. He is bringing some intensity to it. In the free skate, no quadlets here, just a triple Lutz. It was clearly a botched attempt at a quad Lutz. He does do a quad toe, quad Sao Cow, triple toe, steps out of the triple axel. I just felt like the whole beginning felt very rushed. Mark calls him out for skating on 2 feet a lot, not having a lot of difficult transitions. He does a triple flip Euler, triple Sao Cow later in the program, and then falls on the Sao Cow. I do think he wants to get there with his presentation, but he's got a ways to go, and honestly, I'm not sure he'll ever get there with his coaching team. I don't think he will change his coaching team, and I'm not confident at all that they will bring in anybody from the outside to help him with that either. But not a bad Grand Prix season for him. And I threw a picture, if you're watching the YouTube channel, of his Deadpool outfit in his gala program, which is fun. Definitely fun. In 5th place here was Matteo Rizzo of Italy. Also 5th at NHK, so consistent with his finishes this season on the Grand Prix. Didn't make it on the podium. I think he's just still not quite all the way back. In his short program, got another undercall on that quad loop. Had some traveling on his camel spin and got negative GOE, but it was still his best short program of the season. In the free skate, yet again, another undercall on the quad loop. The jumps were really great until the last 2 jumping passes, and he steps out of his triple Lutz, and then he falls on his triple loop. I mentioned at NHK that the program just feels stale, but as I was watching it in this competition, I feel like part of that is just because I don't feel like he's all the way back yet. He's not bringing the spark and the magic to his programs that I feel like that he has for us in the past. And hopefully we will see that again from him soon. And 6th place here was Dai Dai of China, and he was the best of the Chinese men who competed here. In the short program, everything was clean. Quad toe, triple Lutz, and triple axel. Got an 82.96, which was a fantastic score for him in the short program. And the free skate started out with quad toe, double toe here, and then fell on the quad toe that he did the second time, just right after he landed the first one. Landed both triple axels, did fall on a triple Lutz, which was the last jump in his program. It's a nice program. I think he's got good artistry. He was 11th here last year, and he was 20th at 4 continents. So this shows some really nice growth and something for him to be able to build on. And 7th place here was Denis Vasiliev of Latvia. Not the short program that he would have wanted, partly because he decided to put the quad Sao Cow back in the short program. And it was even less successful than it's been when we see them because he popped it into a single. That put him way down in the standings in 9th after the short program. I've been very critical of that decision in the past. I don't agree with it here either, and it definitely didn't work out. Perhaps someday it does. I just don't get the obsession with a jump that he does not land well in competition and putting it in the short program time and time again. In the free skate, started off with a quad Sao, popped it into a double, then decided he was determined to do it, and then lands it in this next jumping pass. He does get a cue call on it. If he lands it, he always gets a call on it. He's never, that I have seen, landed a clean one, but perhaps this bolsters his confidence. Certainly would have been quite a disaster if he would have popped it or fell on 2 attempts in the same program. So at least he landed it there. Both his triple axels got calls on the quarter. He was 5th in the free skate, so he pulled himself up to 7th here. He had the best program components in the competition. He was 1st there, and he has intrigued me enough. I've always wanted to see La Bayadere ballet. I definitely want to see it now so I can kind of understand the character that he's playing, and I might watch it on YouTube in the time between Grand Prix final and the national season. In 8th place was Boyang Jin of China. He trains in China now, and apparently Brian Orser is only at competitions to provide him support there. I feel kind of sorry for Yin Boyang. I feel like he was making some really good strides at the cricket club, and I don't get Chinese Federation, but they're paying for it, so it is what it is. In the short program, he came in with some easier tech content, quad toe, triple axel, and then triplets triple toe, which he got an undercall on that triple toe. Sorry, he did not do a quad toe triple toe. Just a solo quad toe. Hence the easier tech content, but did get a call on that combo. Love this big straddle jump he does in his step sequence. The final sit spin I really like as well. Of course, both programs just got a complete shower of stuffed animals from the crowd. In the free skate, another unsuccessful attempt on the quad lutz. He basically falls on it. He doesn't get a fall deduction, but he got basically -5 from every judge on that jump, which is pretty much a low percentage jump for him at this point, at least in competition it has been. Did land everything else, including a quad toe, triple axel Euler, triple sow cow. He did a triple lutz double toe, which obviously he would have liked to have gotten a triple toe off there, and he only did 2 combos. You get 3, so if you only do 2, you are losing free points that you could get by tacking a double toe, a double axel on the end of something somewhere, and that extra combo probably could have put him ahead of Dennis, but he was 9th in the free, so he fell from 6th to 8th, and this was his best free skate of the season. It was a well-skated men's event, so there wasn't a lot of room for him to move up. We didn't really have any minning this week, which was weird and nice at the same time. In 9th place here was Youngyum Kim of Korea. In his short program, he landed quad toe, triple axel, triple lutz, triple toe, but he got calls on everything. An under on the quad toe, Q call on the triple axel, and he got an unclear edge on his lutz and a Q on the toe. He also got negative GOE on 2 of his spins. So he ended up in 11th place after the short program. But in his free skate, he had a terrific skate. The green wordle, everything was skated really well. You could see how he has had success in juniors with this particular program, moved himself up to 9th. 10th place was Nicola Mimola of Italy. In his short program, the quad lutz he stepped out of. Then he did a triple axel and only a triple lutz double toe. So again, no just real disaster, but in an event that was skated really well, put him really low in the standings. And in the free skate, just did not have the free skate that he had in his previous Grand Prix that allowed him to move up. He had a rough fall to start on the quad lutz. Did settle down after that. Feel like this is music in this program is really nice. He's just not where he needs to be artistically. So for me, this program just falls a little bit flat. And then in 11th place was Yudong Chen of China. In his short program, he did a quad sow, just a tiny turnout on his triple axel, and then a triple flip, triple toe. But the free skate was just rough. Did a double toe instead of a quad toe. He fell on a triple axel. Next triple axel was botched, and he was only credited with a double axel. He fell on his triple lutz. Like every jump had negative GOE. It was just very, very painful. I thought the coolest thing was, honestly, the red streaks that were in his hair. Unfortunate for him, not the outing at home that he would have liked. My Pamchenko award in this event, I think I've got to give it to Shaidorov. I mean, I gave him the blues in his previous Grand Prix, but he was actually pretty entertaining here, and he gave it his all and just almost made it to Grand Prix final. And who knows, if somebody withdraws, he will be there. So let's talk about our contenders for Grand Prix final in 2 weeks. That is Ilya Malinin of the U.S. with 30 points, Yuma Kageyama also with 30 points. Shun Sato is the 3rd place qualifier with a win here and then a 2nd place finish as well. Siao Him Fa with the bronze medal here and a win in France with 26 points. Kevin Amos with 2 silvers. and 26, and Daniel Grassel gets into that final spot with his silver and his bronze. Shaidorov with 22 points will be the first alternate should someone withdraw, namely Adam Siao Him Fa, although I don't think that's in his plan. And then if two people were to withdraw, Torgashev with 20 points is the second alternate. Looks like a good event. I'm looking forward to it for sure. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. You can find me on all the socials, Blue Sky, Instagram, X, Threads. I have posted some videos from my visit to Bridgestone Arena last night to see Scott Hamilton and friends. There, Keegan Messing was there. Cam and O'Shea were there. Actually, Ryan Bradley and Jeremy Abbott were also both there. So I'll be putting some videos from that in the next couple of days. So definitely check out the socials for that, especially Instagram. Make sure you like the video if you're watching it. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast if you have not already. You can always send me a line at thecuttingedgepod@gmail.com. I'll be back with a couple more recaps, and know that I will have a preview episode where I can formally break down these matchups going into Grand Prix final, and that will come out next weekend. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and those of you that celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving.